cut and put it inside the bowl as fast as you can. If not, you know, just keep it there. We'll put this on the side. Not on my side!
Why you standing on aisle 12? Those shoes are made for dancing.
So today we're gonna cook me and Liem. We're gonna make adobong Fhred and adobong Liem to make it tasty as fuck.
Alright, so what are we doing?
So we're doing adobo. We're doing two kinds of adobo. We're doing the normal one that people know on a daily basis that has soy sauce and vinegar.
Yep.
What we're doing, the other one is Adobong Dilaw, which is just basically saying adobong yellow because it's using turmeric and it's a bit yellowish because of this thing. So this one is a bit dangerous if you don't know it. It's not good for your clothes, so don't wear white when you're cooking this. It stains a lot, it's hard to remove. So we're gonna start with one thing that people don't like to do, which is cutting onions. Because, you know, it makes you cry, makes me cry. It will hopefully make you cry. So the easiest way is just, you know, for me what I do is I cut it in half first.
Yeah.
Why? It's because like when you cut it in half, you just, you know, lay it flat and that's it. Then if you wanna do like different type of cutting, you can keep the end here where the roots are to hold it all in place.
Right.
But for this one, we don't really need to have need to make it fine. We just need to slice it nicely.
Okay.
And at home, since you're cooking at home, make sure you have a bin beside you. So you can throw away your things so it doesn't make any mess. Especially for people who don't cook. This will make your life easy.
Wait, did I do it right?
No, you didn't, actually. So guys, this is what you don't do, right? So cutting it in half means cutting it like this way. Long ways, not this way, okay? This is the right way. This is the not the right way. This is horrible. And you know, he was watching me.
I was watching you.
He was beside me. Like if you guys are seeing this, at least you're not beside me. If you fuck up, I won't tell you. But him, I will be like, yeah, that's wrong. That's really wrong. You can just beat me when I say
How
fuck.
do I recover from this?
Not, well, never. Because we're gonna publish this like this, okay? So just remove it, remove all the skin.
Remove all the skin.
This is so wrong, guys. This is like the worst cutting I've ever seen so
So
far.
this is pro chef versus somebody that doesn't cook.
Well, the thing is, like, there's no pro in me at this point. It lost, it went out of the building.
Right.
So because you fucked up the first time, I mean, because you messed up the first time, you know, he can't do it this way. So you have to cut it technically at least in slices. You just have to cut it roughly. You don't have to have a... Sorry. Because he fucked up so much, I can't even think about it. I'm stuck. So you just have to slice it. There's no rule, so you don't really have to do it thinly. It doesn't really affect the flavor for this one, because you have to just really keep it coarse if you want. Doesn't really matter to me, because it's gonna be part of your thing. So you get your chicken. This is the bowl. Make it easier, just put it inside the bowl. That's all you have to do. Cut and put it inside the bowl as fast as you can. If not, you know, just keep it there. We'll put this on the side. Not on my side!
Oh, chicken's over here. Oh man!
So basically now, this is not how you do adobo, people. If you have a separate bowl for your chicken, that's for you. This is my bowl. Don't put things on my bowl. It doesn't work that way.
How do we recover from this?
You get the onions. Yeah, at this point we will call this how to recover from cooking with Chef Fhred.
Wait, I'm so cooked.
Yeah,
let's do
well,
it.
you're not taking anything at this point. No coffee for him, okay? Get a little bit more. You actually gave me way too much.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's enough. Please do not copy him. At this point, let's just avoid that. So we need garlic.
The show is how much can I fuck up this cook? Go on, keep going. Let's roll.
So basically, we need garlic for this one. So usually in some recipes, if they tell you to use 2 cloves or like 3 cloves, it's a suggestion. It doesn't mean that it's the right weight for it. If you want more garlic or onion, you are more than welcome to add on to it. It might overpower your dish, but it doesn't really matter. So for this one, my rule of thumb is always get like at least five garlic, and then I will go over that because I want more garlic. So I'll probably give you the other half, and all you have to do for this one, this is the easiest one. You don't have to do a lot. You don't even need to crush it. You just need to slice it, whatever you want to do with it. Doesn't really need to be fine at all. It can be coarse if you want it. It can even just be crushed, and then that's it. You just put it in there. So just slice it. Please don't put your garlic on my bone. This is not the way it goes. So you just slice it. It doesn't have to be pretty. Unless we're doing something pretty, then that's a different thing. So just make sure that you're putting in the effort that you're putting in your garlic. I'm so sorry. He's not doing it incorrectly. He's doing it right at this point. And just put it in your bowl. See, it's super easy. It's not really hard. Like someone's making it ought to be on my side. I'm waiting.
All right, let's go. I don't want to hurt myself.
Garlic and onions and ginger are actually really part of like a lot of Filipino cooking. So anyone who's FODMAP, like allergies and whatnot, I'm so sorry, Filipino food will fuck you up. Because it will make your stomach hurt.
All right.
There's a lot of it. All right, so now get your ginger. So we're doing two separate things again. He's doing the normal adobo that everyone knows. I'm doing an adobo that's like yellow adobo basically. So I have turmeric in my hands. Liam has normal ginger in here. So the other trick I wanted to show everyone, I don't think it's a trick anymore. Everybody knows it at this point. Just because the skins of this ginger and turmeric are really, really soft, you can use a spoon to peel it off. This one's really soft though, or it's just really old, depending on where you're getting it. I got this from a Woolies, so probably dead.
Yeah,
it like really
it doesn't look fresh.
It doesn't look fresh. So if that's the case, doesn't matter. Just grab your knife, just shut it off. Just cut the skin, keep going. On your end, it's the same thing. It's crinkly old. So this one is gonna be interesting. Let's remove that.
What's the history of adobo? How did it come to be pretty much the Filipino national dish? When you think of Filipino cuisine, you think adobo, right? Straight away.
Yeah, but the thing is like there's a lot of food that's not just adobo in the Philippines. Like sinigang is pretty well known. But adobo, I think, is because when we were taken over by the Spaniards, they just called adobat, which is to marinate, basically. So when they said that, it just got translated to adobo, which is also something that is like sauce related. So in Spanish they call it something to marinate or to sauce. The same thing for this one. But the original adobo didn't have all of these things. They actually didn't have even aromatics at that point. It was really salt and vinegar. And they cook it in a bamboo tube on top of fire. And because of what's happening inside, it's just turning brown. Because the bamboo and all the things, the juices coming out from the chicken, and it becomes really, really different in color. So once you're done with that one, all you have to do is really slice it into like, it doesn't have to be small slices because nobody likes eating ginger. Except for me, I do like eating ginger. But you know, that's a lie. I do like ginger. So for people who don't like it, just cut it into like massive pieces so that they can avoid it.
Okay, cut it in massive pieces, yep.
Yeah. But the thing is like, the other thing is like, if you want to make someone suffer, you blend your sauce and then cook it along it, you know? They don't even know that they're eating ginger at that point or drinking it. So how are you going with your ginger? See?
Progressing.
See this? Avoid this. You don't want this in your hand. So I'm gonna wash my hand with our Aesop product. We're sponsored by Aesop at this point. That's also a lie, unless they want to sponsor us.
What else has been a lie?
Well, your onion's been a lie, that's for sure. That's not how you do it, but it's okay. All right, how's your ginger thing?
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, the thing is, like, everything's a work in progress. Your knife skill is gonna be a lot of work in progress at this point. It's questionable, but it's a work in progress. I'll put this beside you so that you can like put things away. So, what do you know about like adobo though? Have you eaten it before?
I've eaten it like a couple of times. It reminds me of a Vietnamese dish called thịt kho,
Oh, is it?
which is braised pork belly.
Oh,
Yeah, have you had that before?
Yeah.
It's like a very homey dish for us Vietnamese people.
Yeah, I feel like it's also braised, isn't it? Like
It's braised, yeah.
with soy and stuff.
Soy, fish sauce.
Yeah.
We use.
That one's a bit intense though, like soy and fish sauce already.
And then I guess it's balanced out with coconut water or coconut as well.
Yeah.
And sugar. So there's like, yeah.
I mean, this one has sugar as well. I think. I mean, not all of it will have sugar. It's only because I like it a bit sweet. It helps with like improvement of flavors. You get like salty, savory, and sweetness.
Yeah.
And like depth of flavor, like sourness from the vinegar.
How often would you cook this?
Honestly, this is like my go-to thing when I'm really, really like hungry and I really need to make something really fast. But for this one, usually I really like it when it's overnight, when you marinate it, because the flavors seeps in. But at the same time, you know, if it doesn't seep in, you just mix everything up. You put it in the pot and let it cook. And what you do is like you reduce the liquid of it, and it just goes down. And it becomes thick, it becomes really rich. But you need to really be mindful when you're reducing anything that's sauce-based, because it becomes thick, but to a certain level, if you leave it alone, it will burn.
How do I chop this again?
I will not show you. So, I want you to like...
I would not show you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, I wish you
big
were...
chunks.
Yeah, it could be big chunks. Doesn't really need to be anything. Yeah, just cut it into... Yeah, keep cutting. Don't cut your finger, please. If you do, I'll bring you to the hospital maybe later.
I'll get some.
You know, I'll think about it. And then just put it in your bowl. And there you go. So for this one, I forgot to bring bay leaves. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Not really sorry. I'm pretending to be sorry. So now we have our ingredients here. So you can see there's very big differences to it.
What's the flavor of bay leaf?
Bay leaf is, how do you describe it? It's an aroma is kind of more on the chili side, but a drier chili. I don't understand how to describe that flavor really. So it's kind of like, it's not spicy, but it kind of feels like a capsicum taste.
Right.
But at
not
the same,
spicy as in hot, but it is an element of spice too,
a little
right?
bit, a little bit element of spice. But the difference is also because it's a leaf type.
Yeah.
If you eat your salads, you can taste some bitterness on it. So bay leaf does that as well.
Okay.
And also at the same time, when you have mint, I think, you know, the freshness of mint, it's a little bit of that, but it's not intense. It's not intense freshness. But you add it to a dish, it really just elevates how it tastes like. So this one, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add in some black pepper. For this one, you could really choose. I usually go with like black peppercorns. But you know, growing up, if you're Filipino, we all know that nobody likes eating the black peppercorns and are stumbling upon it and saying, shit, what is this spicy things in my mouth? And you know, biting into it, you have like a black mark in your mouth and you think you're smiling a lot, but you look stupid with your black peppercorn. So please, this is available in the market now, ground black pepper. But you could use fresh cracked pepper for this one, you know? Because you know, if you don't like crack, it doesn't go back. I don't think that's also right, but you know what? Let's just say that it is black.
How much do we put in?
This one I always put in like whatever I feel.
Okay, so your ancestors are whispering in your ear?
Yeah, so basically my rule of thumb is this. When you put in anything that's like pepper, that's enough. Like you cover this much, because this is ground black pepper.
Right.
It's not, it looks like it's a lot of surface, but when we put in the liquid in there, it will have to mix around these things. And we have like, almost like 1.5 kilos. Yeah, well, you're gonna get more than that.
Okay, just cover the surface area.
Cover a little bit. It doesn't have to be fully covered, just enough to like see, and that's enough.
Because ground pepper is lighter than freshly cracked pepper, yeah?
So this one's not that strong, so you just wanna keep it light there.
Okay.
So now we have sugar.
Yeah.
For this one, I'm just gonna put in we use that spoon.
Why caster sugar?
Caster sugar just dissolves faster.
Right. Okay.
Because it's more finer.
Yeah, true.
But any sugar works. Because at the same time, if you just really want it to have sugar, any sugar works. Caster is just really easy to deal with. So I'm just putting in 2 2 tablespoons of sugar. So do the same thing for that one.
2 tablespoons.
Yeah, so guys, try to make sure that if your bowl is this wide, do not miss it, okay? Because like at this point, it's kind of hard to be fucking up at this point because the bowl is quite wide. But if you have a massive bowl in there, please do not make a mess.
I don't like coloring in the lines, that's why.
Fair. The thing is like, I now know in kindergarten, coloring wasn't your strong suit, but it's okay. So we'll just... I love you. Anyways, now the main ingredients for you is like half vinegar, half soy sauce. So for your end, this is not the original adobo, but this is the well-known adobo all around the world. It makes it easier to know that you see this dark sauce with like bay leaf, peppercorn, and then there's an adobo down it. That's basically our dish.
Yeah.
So all you have to do, use this bowl as your measurement. I want you to put in below here, like
Below that line.
below that line
Of soy sauce.
Of soy sauce first. So we're using like Mamacita's products here. They currently have their artisanal range. There's like their premium soy sauce, and we're doing spiced vinegar because we don't want to be basic bitches. So sorry. Is that the right thing to say in this show? Probably not.
That's cool. Hey man, it's your show.
Yeah. No, but the thing is like we have to do like beep, beep. At this point, the show will be calling it beep with Chef Fred. Put ginger beep. Cut that beep. You stupid beep. Yeah, basically. At that point, that's what they're hearing. So all you have to do now.
Sweet chili vinegar.
No, before you put that on, put this already here. Because you don't want to be like, oh, I don't know which measurement I'm going for.
How much was this in here anyway?
That's basically a cup already. That's a cup of vinegar. Soy sauce, that's not vinegar.
Soy
Stupid.
sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, soy sauce. So
Same?
this similar as well. So basically for this one, you do 1-to-1 ratio. That's the easiest way to make sure that you have a good amount of flavor for the adobo.
1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. But for this one, because we're using a very specialized vinegar, it's a bit spicy, this one, because of the chili in this vinegar.
So this is your typical adobo, but with a bit different ingredients then?
Yes.
Okay. I'm
But
doing
also like,
home style.
It's just home style because you want to be able to make this at home without like making it hard. Like there's a lot of process to do it as well. There's another method where you saute everything. Like you saute the garlic, you saute the ginger, you saute the onion.
Yeah.
And then you pan fry the chicken on the ginger and the garlic and the onion. And there's a lot more process to it. But what it does, it builds flavor. But for this one, it's just really a shortcut to do it. Makes it easier for people who want to do it at home, who doesn't have a lot of time. And if you want more flavor, just put it in the put it in your fridge, glad wrap it, mix it around, For this one, I'm only using vinegar. For Adobo Dilaw, they usually rely on the vinegar. For this one, I'm using all of this. So it's a bit more on the sour note. So like adobo is also like subjective in the flavor that they make it, because like some of them will be a bit more saltier, so it has more soy sauce. Some will be a bit more sour.
Soury, yeah.
But depending on the region as well you're making it.
Okay.
So now it's time to get our hands dirtier. So if you have gloves at home, use gloves. If not, you have Aesop products in your home. Actually, if you don't, just get the silken one. It's also, pretty good.
No, but like ideally you use gloves to handle chicken, right?
Well, the thing is like if you're at home and if you're in my mom's home,
okay,
gloves
true.
doesn't work. This is a home-based recipe. You don't have to. If it's in the kitchen, hell yeah, you'll be using a glove.
Yeah.
If not, I will be kicking you out.
Okay.
You're fired immediately. But technically, you're fired from the very beginning anyway. So
Cannot chop onions, tick.
Can't chop onions.
Cross.
Yeah. I didn't understand how you made that decision and then decided afterward, oh, fuck. I fucked up. So for some reason in my head, how did that work? Are you making onion rings with that one? Are you trying to make like, the fried onion rings? Is that what we're making? I thought we were making adobo, man.
Bro, I looked at you. And then I saw you, and
Yeah.
I was following along.
Because you were watching me. You were beside me.
I was beside you.
I was showing
and
it
then
to you
when
twice.
I cut it, I just went, Oh, look. Oh, wait, that doesn't look alike.
Yeah, fair. I mean, and you were showing me a while ago before this, he was like, yeah, so you cut it in the middle. So he showed me his mind frame like cutting things, and then now your mind frame doesn't exist. So this one, you just mix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just caress it like your, not like your mama, okay? That's not how it works. Your mama doesn't need to get involved in this. You know, our moms are sacred people in this life, so respect your parents and your mama. You know, caress your partners, that's okay. Or your cats if you're lonely. I mean, sorry, Zhang, not you. You know, sometimes we just can't caress something else, you know. Our hands can go anywhere we want to go.
All right, caress the chicken.
Caress the chicken, and then for this one, we probably need to leave it for at least 5 minutes. So just let it sit for a bit, you know, so that it doesn't go anywhere. So guys, this is also how you wash your hands. So you get running water, you get your soap, you lather it, because you know, you don't know how to fucking wash your hands, you never went to kindergarten, stupid fuck. Sorry, not you, I was talking about my hand. You know, just do this all around your thing. If you're a doctor, you better know this. If not, then you know, you failed already. You're not gonna get your medical thing. And just wash your hands. Not your clocks, so as you can see, if you have like Apple Watches, it's not best to make them wet and also splatter everywhere. It's not a good thing. So this one's ready to go. The best thing about this recipe that you have, all you have to do is really pour it into your cooking material. So if you have your pot, get our cooking stove here. You don't have to have a fancy stovetop. It's just because, you know, if we did this in the back, the cameras won't see it unless it's a camera behind us. Doesn't work. It's not as nice. You know, we want it to be pretty. So all you have to do is like wait for it to heat up for a little bit.
Yeah. Any oil in the pan or anything like that?
Not really. We don't need oil for this one. Because like one method is like you can have oil. You could put in the chicken first to like sear it.
Yeah.
So the color, the browning, it all works.
Yeah.
But because this recipe is just really forgiving and easy, sorry, it's the macas that I had, I know. I'm ashamed, but not really. Macas is too great. So if you're a chef, we both know you've been eating macas.
Macdo.
So macdo, exactly. And we sing it, pa pa da pa pa. That's the Filipino one, and we say love kuto. And then all you have to do is really pour it to your...
Pour it all in.
Yeah.
Love kuto.
Yeah. So literally the reason why I said like it's super easy. That
How about love kuta?
Love kuta. What?
I don't know.
Love kita. Kita, not kuta. Kuta, I don't even know if it exists in our language. Utang maybe, but not kuta. So all you have to do is let it be there. So the other thing that you could do to increase the level of like liquid for this one is add a bit of water.
Okay.
But originally for this one, I don't usually add on to it.
Okay.
So I let it sit there for a little bit.
Yep.
And just let it cook.
At a high heat?
High heat so that it starts bracing it. So what it does, like, you know, the juices will come out, it will increase the fattiness of it because this has all the skins.
Yes.
So the chicken fat will go up.
Okay.
And then that will add on to the flavor.
So the chicken fat will release liquid?
Yes.
Volume? Okay.
And also because, you know,
so when it starts boiling?
When it starts boiling, you just let it be and then you lower the heat.
Lower the heat, yeah.
And then you just switch the sides. So when...
Okay, turn it, yep.
Yeah, turn it around. So basically that one facing below, push it up, so the other one facing down.
Okay, yep.
So all sides are getting there. So once it's cooked already,
Sure.
if you want the sauce to be a bit thicker, remove the chicken, remove the other bits, let it go down. Then when it's a bit thicker in your eyes, like if you think it's thick enough, reduce it. Just, you know, put back the chicken, toss it around. That coats the chicken even more.
That coats the chicken even more.
And the thing is, like with adobo, if you cook it like now and you leave it there for maybe 2 days, the flavor is intense.
Oh yeah, because it
tastes
all
better.
seeps in, yeah.
Yeah, it tastes a lot better, and I think it's the good thing about it is like it does preserve the flavor a lot. So this one we'll leave it here, we'll transfer it in the back so you can cook faster. So we can cook this one next.
Okay.
See, culinary magic. We put this here, so it's the same thing as the first one. We just need to turn this on. Yeah, at this point, we don't have a lot of this one. Next time, you'll see it boiling in front of you.
Bro, it's dead.
Oh no.
Who fucks up now?
Ha!
Nah,
The
it's probably
machine.
out of gas, bro.
Wait. Joe Tomatic will say, oh, fuck.
Chotomatic.
You're not even Japanese. Oh, he's Vietnamese, guys. I almost had uno momento as well. Fucking hell.
Por
What
favor.
am I?
What are you?
A racist cunt, that's what. I thought he was Japanese, but he wasn't. He lied to me. Is it the right time? Hey. Hi.
Yeah, people, I get mistaken for Japanese a lot.
You do have like some physical aspects of Japanese.
From Vietnamese people as well.
they think you're,
They look at me and they're like, hey, where are you from? Or
Maybe
it's something like that. And I tell them that I'm
it's the same
Vietnamese.
one.
And then they're like, what? All the time.
Fair.
So it's not new.
I feel the same way. Don't worry. Like I went back home for a little bit, and then people thought that I was Thai, not Filipino, which is kind of really, painful.
Are you both your parents from the Philippines?
Yes, my mom has a Spanish bloodline, but it's like from my great grandfather, so it's not, it's not seen on my face
Yep.
or anything like that.
So mixed in though.
So mixed in. So this one is the same thing. You just put it directly to your pot, and you'll see it color later because it will really turn a bit more yellow. So for this one, you don't want to add on too much vinegar to it because it will become too sour. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add in water to it.
It's water, yeah.
Yeah. So for this one, because it's a little bit more deeper, we're just gonna add more water for it. Yeah. And then we're just gonna let it cook and simmer. And then this one, you could also add in some salty elements to it by adding salt or stock. So for this one, sometimes I'll put in chicken stock. But because this is already chicken and there's a lot of bones in it, just let it cook.
Yeah.
Just let it reduce and stuff.
Yeah.
So when cooking as well, people, make sure that you're arrange, you're putting things away, clean as you go.
Okay. So
that's true.
Where in the Philippines is your mum from?
My mom is actually, that's a good question. My mom grew up in Manila, so she's a city girl. But I know that our background in terms of where we live, region-wise, we're from Visayas.
Visayas.
Yeah, specifically
From the south.
Leyte, we're Waray. So if you know what Warays are, they're
No.
So in the Philippines, there's 300 languages, dialects.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to speak in different things. So in Bisaya, there's different dialects, different intonations as well. So Warays is one of those. They have a different way of saying things. And I think they're mostly accustomed to knowing that they're the angry ones. So as you could see, makes sense. It's in my blood.
Okay, Visayas. Is that in the same island, Luzon?
No, Luzon is the top part, the north part. It's the middle part.
Middle of the main island where
Middle.
Manila is from?
No. So
But
Luzon,
Visayas is there.
Luzon,
Yeah.
Visayas,
So a different island.
Mindanao, a different island.
Oh, it's a different island.
But I think it's when you say different island, they're just the 3 major islands.
Right.
But they consist of many islands.
Yeah, there's 7,000 islands in the Philippines, right? Heaps.
So Leyte is a different island
Yeah.
down south. It's a bit further. I think it's let's not go with that one. I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
But how about your old man? How are your dad?
My dad. So my real father is from Cavite, which is in the NCR still. It's part of that region, but it's still down south.
What does that mean? NCR?
National Capital Region.
Okay.
Yeah. So National Capital Region consists of different cities. It's really massive.
So Manila.
Manila's included into it.
Right, yes.
So basically,
Okay.
because there's different region 1, region 2, region 3, NCR, and all these things. They
Gotcha.
comprise of different cities. So Manila is part of NCR.
Okay.
So my real father is from down south, but my grandparents are from Bohol, which is also from Visayas.
Ah, no, Bohol. Yeah, the island with the chocolate mountains. Yeah,
exactly,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
which I've never been to. So that's one on my list. But that's where my grandparents came from, and basically I have a lot of Visaya blood in me.
What do they do? So interesting, because Bohol is a smaller island, right? And because I went to Cebu, and I went to Pangnang Sama Beach. I think that's what it's called.
Beach. Yeah,
I went
know
to do
it.
the sardine runs, and I did free diving there.
Yeah.
So
That sounds fun.
very, very beautiful. So I at Freediving Planet on that beach. I did my IDA 2, which is you hold your breath and I can go down to 20 meters off a breath. So I was training there for a couple of days. And
That's insane.
Incredible.
Good thing you followed the instructor then.
Oh yeah, of course.
'Cause, like, you would have drowned if you didn't follow them, right?
No, you train to hold your breath, right?
Okay,
You go into a meditative practice and then you're like upside down and you see these clouds of sardines and fish. It's beautiful.
Fair. So the sardines are pretty nice.
But I'm curious, in Bohol, what
Yes.
did your grandparents do there at that time? What, as for work and
If I'm
for
being
trade?
honest, like in terms of my real father's side, I don't know a lot of information because like
Okay.
we kind of like didn't have a lot of good connection growing up.
Sure.
So I grew up with my Korean stepfather. So, which I call him my dad, really. It's really hard to call him
Yeah.
my stepdad when I feel
Sure.
like he's my dad, you know? So, my understanding is that they used to have a farm,
Yeah.
but because of the idea that Manila was the best place to be, to improve life and whatnot, they migrated from Visaya to like, you know, Manila.
Yeah.
But I think that didn't work out. Because like in my family itself, technically at this point, we're the only ones was able to really attain good schools and, you know, go out of the countries and whatnot. We're not rich, but we're capable.
Yeah.
And we're comfortable at least. I think my grandparents are doing all right now, but they're not, you know, they're not
Okay.
living large. But, you know, my grandma died, I think, my grandma died like 2 years ago
Okay.
during COVID.
Yeah.
So it's only my grandpa now on my father's side that's alive.
And so, in
Yeah,
your family
down.
line, how did the cookery or the cheffery come out, and your love of food and
Well-
your journey to master the art?
Yeah, so basically I came out of my mom's vagina and then I came up with a knife and a spatula and I started chopping things. I think I cut on my umbilical cord and then I just pushed my thing out, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to be a chef, you know. I think that's what it is.
Okay, straight out of the womb.
Straight out of the womb.
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah, it's
like,
easy.
Ready,
Yeah. Basically,
ready to cook
at
it.
the moment I came out, all of a sudden, you know, this flashlight chef jacket just like, you know, covered me. Not that flashlight though, that's different. That's for, you know, guys don't, yeah, it's pretty good. Buy it. Links down below.
Oh man, Chef Fred, fuck my life.
Limbs like unknown.
So, you know, we just like,
I thought the conversation was gone so well.
no, it was going somewhere. Well, we did talk about tangents. We had tangents. Where's my bell? Where's my,
I got a tangent, pal.
you know, cut.
All right, so
Do
what's
it again.
what's happening here?
So we're still like,
We're
you know,
waiting.
we're
Playing the
waiting.
waiting game.
So basically, yeah, we're waiting for this one. All I have to do is push it down a bit more. You can see the color is changing into a bit more yellow.
Okay.
Which is interesting. And you smell that? Because like turmeric itself has a very sharp
Oh, yeah.
smell.
So
It's not as what do we call it? It's not as light as ginger. When you smell, it's a bit more punchy. So it punches you a bit more. Like
Okay.
this. Sorry, not like that.
No, but
Don't punch it.
what happens
Yeah.
if you taste it raw?
You can taste it. Go for it. I mean, maybe remove. Yes. So, yeah. Hey, it's used for a lot of medicine as well.
Yeah, used for a lot of medicine, but
Yeah.
it's not as spicy as ginger.
No, it's not.
It's
It's more.
reminded
earthy.
me of carrot for a second, but you're very earthy.
It's very earthy. So the flavor for this one's a bit more earthy than this one. There's like ginger's a bit more like it's not spicy, but
oh,
it's
ginger's definitely spicy.
it's not fully spicy though. I feel it's kind of like it's a little bit there. It just hits you. It's like wasabi basically. A little
Well,
bit.
there's a difference between spiciness and like the heat of chili.
This is why I don't want you to bite into it.
Because spice is like cardamom and fennel seeds and
You
all
have
of
yellow
those things.
things on your teeth. I'm so sorry. Your teeth is a bit yellow down below. So that's why we always say it stains you because
Oh, no way.
Because it's really look at your hands.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
See? So if you're looking for natural like paints and stuff, here you go. Turmeric. But you know, It's just really strong.
How about the price difference between turmeric and
This
ginger?
is more expensive.
More expensive?
This is
Yeah.
more expensive.
But you would use less of it.
Yeah, but
Much
also,
less turmeric.
I think it really depends on the dish as well.
Where else do you use turmeric?
Well, there's a lot of like curries that use turmeric.
A lot of what?
Curries?
Curries,
Yeah. So like for example, growing up, I don't think it's the right recipe when you do nasi lemak or something.
Oh, nasi lemak.
Yeah. They use turmeric on it and just saute things on it. So this one is starting to boil up a bit more, which is great for camera views. You can see this is how it's done. You know it's cooking when it's boiling. If it's not cooking like this, check your fire because it might not be on, you know?
Is there a point of overcooking your chicken like this?
Hell no.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, there is though. Technically there is, but
Yeah.
only if you do it like for hours. Like that's when your chicken starts to break.
Right. Ah,
You know,
okay.
that's when the chicken starts to be like overcooked. When it starts to break, the protein's breaking apart already, and it's like
Right.
it's too soft. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're cooking it for the sake of,
What's the texture though, in terms of if you overcook your chicken boiled?
it's just gonna be really soft.
Really soft.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
it's gonna
Yeah.
really break apart. So anything
Right.
that requires like, for example, you do this for 3 hours. You know how birria tacos are made?
Oh yeah.
Basically, that's what they do it. They cook it in the stock for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then it caramelizes the sauce. It breaks down the protein because you're constantly heating up and expanding it.
Yeah.
So when it's done already, it's just an easier like breakdown of the protein, and
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
it's easy and it's done.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
what it does. With chicken's the same thing, pork's the same thing. I think any meat is the same thing.
Yeah.
As long as you over like boil it, it will break down.
Okay.
But for the sake of not breaking down for this one, you really just want it to be tender enough to eat. But because it has liquid in it, it won't be dry.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, the difference of like cooking it with like searing it or putting it in the oven, it might get dry if you overcook it. It's
Yeah.
more tougher, but with liquid, it doesn't do that as
Right.
much.
Yeah. How about this one here?
Well, ooh, look at that, fancy pots. So now you can switch it around.
Okay.
So so you don't cook a lot, but what is something that you cook that's easy for you?
Something that's very easy for me.
Yes. I will be shocked if you say cutting onions one of them.
No, one of my go-to like lazy dishes
Yes.
is a soup with potatoes, carrots, and some sort of pork broth. So it's very effortless. I
Yeah.
just go away and do multiple things at once.
Yeah, chicken. Yeah.
For me, cooking these days is like, how do I cook as much as possible that's efficient, that has adequate tastes,
Fair.
right? So
So mostly Asian food then.
quite time bound. Yeah, Asian food, Vietnamese food specifically, because of
Yeah,
the flavors I've grown up with.
You should, because it will be sad if you don't eat Vietnamese food.
And it's, for me, it feels just so natural to chase what flavors that my parents have brought me up with.
Yeah, it's the
as
same
well.
thing for the adobo that we're doing right now. I grew up because my mom does really good adobo. So let's go to the part where I didn't come out in the vagina with the knife and the spatula. I actually was learning cooking when I was a little bit younger, so I was like around 9 years old.
9 years old, yeah.
So I remember it's also adobo, but it was mostly cutting onions, and my mom taught me right, so I didn't do it in half like
Onions.
someone. But I did cry. You know, like onions are like, especially for red onions that has like a lot of juice, it will just make you cry. No matter
Okay.
how professional you could be, if you are cutting like a box of onions, doesn't matter. You will cry, and it will be painful unless you do the method of like cutting, poking a hole into it, putting it in water, and let the juices seep out. But doesn't matter. We don't
What
do
does that do? So you chop up onions, you put it in the water, and you let the onion juice seep out. What is?
It just helps with the lessening the juice, the onion juice from splattering all over you. Because it's like what happens. The reason you cry is because the moment you chop, you're creating like sprinkles of the juice.
Yeah, gotcha.
I like how we're guys. So this is my new nails. It's turmeric colored, and Liam's new teeth that we installed is turmeric colored as well. So someone who owns a turmeric farm, please sponsor us. Thank you so much. So basically,
I'm curious, with cooking with your mum,
Yes.
what tricks and tips and lessons did you learn from her that you use today as a head chef in your kitchen?
That's a very good question. No one's ever asked me that question. I think my mom taught me that food is about giving it a lot of love. And that's the simplest thing that you should know as a chef, basically. It doesn't matter if you're the head chef or, you know, if you're a cook. If you're starting to cook something, you do it with the intention of, with love, because you could really feel that emotion going through. Like for the way that you prepare things. So maybe Liam's adobo might taste a bit wonky because of the way he cut the onions, but it will taste amazing because, you know, it's just, you know. But if it's like, it might taste a bit off, you know, maybe it's not made with love yet, he will do it again. We will do day 1 versus day 100. I think that's what I do. Liam's training thing, you know, and then we do like that, you know, just like do the punching in the air, and then we'll get some, you know, flour bikes, and you know, fuck it, we'll do that.
Okay. So love is the main thing. But how about in a kitchen where
there's no love?
No,
Only
but
suffering.
the demand is so high, the heat is turned up, there's customers, there's people waiting, people are messing up, and you're having to recover. Like when I'm making mistakes, how do you recover like that in a kitchen and then maintain the love at the same time?
I think it's knowing how to work around those pressures, because it is a high pressured area.
Yeah, very.
It's organizing it. So a kitchen that's organized, regardless of how fast and crazy our service is, we know it's gonna be crazy. So we're always ready to prepare, like let's say this amount of this dish, this amount of things, and actually having the right people in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So when you're not understaffed, like most hospitality businesses are, and also like, you know, not paying their people right, you will have a full team that will say, yes, chef, okay, coming your way, chef. And all of the dockets will just go down really easily. And because you have a system that you could see it in front of you, if you're on the pass or you're the one putting in out on like, on that area here to expedite to people, you're controlling the flow of that service. So if you're communicating to your team and I'm communicating to the front of house, then it will all go out. It's about a lot of communication and preparation and organization. So be prepared, communicate, you're set.
So
in any job actually at this point.
Yeah, of course. But pretend that I'm a good home cook, right? How would I get shocked if I were to be cooking in a kitchen?
As you said, it's a high pressure environment. It's very different from la-di-da. Here it's easy. I know I won't tell you to like hurry up, stop asking me the stupid questions. I don't want you to know about my mom and everything, you know. It doesn't matter. Just give me your food now. Give me the adobo like, you know, 30 minutes ago, man. You know, it's very different because like there's that fast-paced element to it. At home, when you cook at home, you're not really pressured to bring out the product straight away. You know? You're in your comfort zone, so nobody cares if you like, oh, I'm sorry guys, I used tomato ketchup instead of tomato paste. You know, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Because it's like free food at that point. If you're feeding people, it's free food. So nobody should, you know, complain. At this point, we're gonna get free food.
How about rice? Do we companion this with rice?
100% with rice. So basically, most Filipino dishes, regardless of even if it's a salad, will have rice. Okay. And again, in the culture, you know, you have rice.
I prepared some earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, he's paid back because he was bad at cutting onions. He could like give me all of this by, you know, roll back the clip, rewind. You know, we'll just shame you online. And then we'll just put like...
Are we cooking rice?
Nah, we're not cooking rice for this one. Oh. Unless we can. I mean, we could do it later on. Nobody needs to know about the rice, you know, at this point. But for adobo, this one's just like, as you can see, the color is like really different now. Yeah. It's like really yellow, right? It's really interesting how the colors change.
Is it because of, so the turmeric and then the vinegar, that would affect it as well, right?
Yeah, because like the
sweet chili vinegar.
Sweet chili vinegar, or the vinegar itself, will help push out the color a bit more. I don't know what it is with acid, but it does create an effect for the pH levels of this ones.
Sure.
So you just let it cook. Technically our adobo here, at this point, will be almost ready, so 5 minutes or so. most of the things that we have here will not be kept on the clip. If it's not related to adobo, it will not be part of the clip. if it's me going down, that's also not going to be part of the clip. Or maybe it will be going to the clip. So how do you feel now you know how to do adobo a little bit? I'm so sorry, it's hard not to.
Look, to be honest, if I cook this again, I'll still have to like look at a recipe just to remind myself, because I wouldn't trust myself cooking this off by heart, even though I've just done that, but it looks pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. I think, you know what, you have to do anything that you want to cook, you have to do it multiple times. The only reason why I'm good at this is because I've been doing this for 12 years now.
Exactly, yeah.
Different thing. You know, professionally, 12 years doing this, I will kill myself if I still don't know how to chop onions. Yeah, but you know, some people are pardoned by that because, you know, we're business partners and friends at this point. I can't kill them. Slightly. In my head, there's multiple knives flying on top of him now and cutting him in half like how he did the onions. But also at the same time, I forgive him. Forgive you. The onion doesn't forgive you though. They hate you right now. So don't go to a market.
Should we check my wonky adobo here?
Oh no, your adobo's fine. Well, the moment see the color is a bit lighter than
It's browner.
It's browner, but it still needs to like really reduce down. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna remove the lid.
Uh-huh.
So what it does is like, you know, it lets the So when you have a home, you have to press this one, is it? Did you press that? Yeah. So just let it reduce so that the sauce becomes a bit thicker. So far, it's getting there.
Yeah.
This
So just keep flipping it periodically.
Yeah, because like the sauce itself don't get dark for this one, because usually for a darker adobo, we usually put in a
Caramel?
No, we just put in a dark soy sauce.
Ah.
Like a rich dark soy sauce.
Yeah.
But because what the rich dark soy sauce does, it doesn't really add on that much of the flavor to it. It adds a lot of color.
Okay.
You know? But this one you just have to reduce the sauce with the chicken and let it like, you know, base around it and then it'll be good.
So what happens when you lift the lid, right? Because the steam, with the lid on, the steam recirculates.
Yes.
And so the moisture level
goes back to it.
But you take the lid off, it escapes, so it reduces more.
Yeah, so that's what we want. We want to reduce down so the sauce is a bit thicker. And then you know what, because there's bones into it, the collagen to it will just like seep in. The natural gel, it will create an aspect to it. So when you leave this overnight, it will be thick.
Yeah.
It won't be not thick.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, which is interesting. This one's also almost done. See here, the sauce is getting quite thick and darker.
Yeah,
that's what you really want.
It really is, yeah.
You want it to be a bit darker, so we're still gonna reduce this one. My adobo is actually done. I think that
Your adobo is done.
Adobo is done for me.
Oh, okay, so we wanted to thicken up a lot more than this then.
Yeah, because we want the colors to be darker than this.
Yeah.
And since because we're not using dark soy sauce to like, you know, increase that darkness.
Yeah.
We have to wait for it to like, you know, go off on its own. For this one, it's a bit okay now. So we're just gonna turn off the heat. Do not leave your heat on. Make sure you're also knowing that. I can put it here directly and it's fine.
Yep.
Let's put this aside. There we go. So grab your beautiful plate. Mine is La Pizza at the moment. So you know, it's a sexy ass plate. We're just gonna like use that as our
strawberry pie.
Yeah, there's strawberry pie in there. While we're waiting for yours, we can start plating this one out. Ooh. So basically, the flavors are enhanced by.
You're right. It's a bit sour. There's a sour hint.
Yeah,
in the smell.
It's mostly because of the vinegar. Yeah, it's mostly vinegar based. So you know, it's gonna be more sour on that end. See how like that's yellow?
Yeah.
It's interesting because like you know like how curries are. They have turmeric. That's why they turn a bit more yellow.
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, it's just like I found out about Adobo Dilaw just recent actually.
Oh yeah, how?
Because I was trying to research what kind of other adobos are there, you know? Because I know for a fact that the adobo that we're making right now isn't the first adobo. It's different. And that was like when we went to Cebu as well when I did like an excursion in college.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know, they're telling us the story of how adobo is made. And I was like, what the hell? I thought it was like, soy sauce and vinegar, but apparently it's not.
So where else in the regions does adobo different?
It's different for every single region, actually.
Yeah, great.
So it's not like a specific region that's different. Every region's different. Because like some will use pineapple on their adobo. And then some will actually put in potatoes on their adobo.
Oh yeah?
Some will put in coconut on their adobo. The coconut one, actually, I tried that, and that was really pretty. That was really nice. That was pretty bomb.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be that good. I was telling my friend as well. So what we're trying to do is like we're using the cuttings that we have, like the onions and the garlic, to make it look like pretty.
Yeah.
So we don't want to make it too complicated. I don't want to be getting like garnished and be like, ugh, fried garlic. This is not like, a master class of how to make things like professional, And this is how they do it, really. They just
Home style, put it in the middle of the table.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one though. Because it's not something I would usually do. And it's like interesting. At that point when you're looking into different types, and there's 5 types of adobo, guys. 5 types. The original one, the Dilaw, this one. There's another one with coconut. There's another one that's only solely garlic, I think.
Oh, right.
Or soy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that one's pretty interesting. Because like usually in the Philippines, it's like the Holy Trinity is garlic, ginger, and onion. But every cuisine has a different trinity. Like in Italian cooking, you have a lot of parsley, garlic, onions, not much, garlic, and then you have rosemary.
Oh yeah.
But it's interesting.
How about basil?
Basil is not entirely
Italian.
It's a different thing. It's their herb thing. So you can see now it's like getting a bit really thick.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? So now we switch it. So that's when we know we're hitting the mark. So I think for this one, what we do is we transfer it to that cooking area there, so that they could see it. So that our back
that's saucy. It's
hell
thick.
yeah. You like it thick,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we want. Okay, let's transfer that to the other cooking area.
Is it hot?
Nah. This one is to transfer it here so that they can see it.
Watch out behind you.
Hi. I mean Oppo. So that's the other thing. Be polite. So say Oppo. Say Oppo to me. You're probably not. You're probably older than me, but it's okay. Say Oppo, okay? Be polite.
Putangin mo.
Exactly. Putangin na mo rin. So guys, beep that out. Beep. Beep. I like this show. We're just gonna call it beeping with us.
Getting cooked.
Getting cooked, basically. So the sauce.
That's cooked.
That's cooked. So you can see how it's like really thick now, and the sauce is kind of like short and like really, really thick now. It's not really that, It's quite good. So that's the color that you're looking for an adobo. So this one's done. We just need to plate it with our strawberry pie. Dun, 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 dun. See, this is so natural that we end up talking about Vietnamese culture as well. And we're cooking adobo.
Yeah, I'd love to see you cook and show that car.
Yeah.
For Filipino audience, because whenever Vietnamese people eat this, it's like, oh, it's just what we have.
Yeah.
But we use pork belly mainly for thep car. So it's still braised, but it's much different because you've got the fattiness of the pork belly as well.
Well, technically the other areas as well, like depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Chicken isn't always the normal one. It's technically pork adobo.
Okay.
But I grew up I like chicken more than pork. It's just a preferential thing. But in some cases, what we do is that we combine chicken and pork when we cook it. So it's like chicken and pork adobo. So you have the fattiness, you have the flavors of the chicken all combined with the pork.
The animal farm.
Yeah, the animal farm, basically. Old MacDonald had the chicken and the pork and they die and become adobo. Well, you started the farm thing.
E-I-E-I-O.
Well, EA did. That's what it is.
What part of the pig for adobo?
A pork belly.
Pork belly as well? Yeah.
Because technically any part will work for you. It's just, the basis of the entirety of it, like the sauce, Just put in all of that goodness in there, some sauce, some glaze. And now you have your 2 types of adobo here.
Why don't we move over to that empty space? I'll bet you $20, I'll put a smile on your face.
It's traveling a long way, yeah.
They want to use a tong. Well, the thing is, like, he brought out the tong, yeah? We need this. And then you end up not using the tong? What is this?
Well, it's too soon to give up on tonight.
But you're done now. In the Philippines, you use your hands, yeah?
Yeah.
So how's your bandmate tasting like?
I can show you how we dance the night away. But baby, we could try to make the world feel slower. We can take
Adobo.
our time.
Adobo what?
I've been waiting
Adobo Dilaw.
to show me just what you can do. I don't wanna waste your time, so please just have me for tonight. Then